All right, just like that, we are live. Whether you're joining me live or watching this back, I appreciate you very much. Had to squeeze in a quick stream. I'm actually getting ready for vacation right now, so very excited about that. You might be watching this week later and be like, "Yo, Tetron hasn't posted anything. Let's deal with that." But that's what's going on. Again, appreciate you guys very much here. And yeah, there's just so much going on that I had to squeeze in one more quick stream. It's probably only like 30 or 40 minutes because I still have a lot more packing to do. Folding a suit is way harder than I ever imagined. So definitely a learning experience there. But obviously, there's Chewy to talk about. There's GameStop. Where are we going to get? I haven't even been on my computer in the last 2 hours. I've been getting ready. But do we get any kind of. I saw the lawsuit was dismissed. Do we get any kind of update from our kitty? I don't think we necessarily will today. But what a time. That's all I can say. Definitely so much different stuff going on right now. Had to make time for one last stream before I go. Let's see, just make sure everything's good. Gotta get the chat up on the side. Oh, gotta tweet this out as well. But yeah, usually do a countdown. I had to just jump right into it today because it's been such a busy last week or so for me and getting ready, and it's crazy. It's a very, very exciting time. It's the farthest I've ever gone, going to Europe. Pretty exciting. So definitely gonna be a cool experience. Where am I? Yeah, I opened a million tabs. We'll see if we get to them all. Talking GameStop stock plus, what did I name it? Roaring Kitty. Plus the latest on Roaring Kitty. And do apologize if you're coming here now, like, yo, where have you been? You first said 7, then you said 8. Folding a suit is way harder than it looks, honestly. I think I finally got it, and I'm really hoping, because I'm going to a wedding, that it doesn't get wrinkled, because that'll be just an unfortunate, annoying thing to deal with when we get there. But it is what it is. I'll just deal with it when it comes. But again, appreciate you guys being here because I can. First, what up, what up? He will do a special stream every night on the breakdown per day, GMC, AMC, Tup, Root. Coffee House, I don't know about that. Obviously, we'll have to see, right? I'm not always correct, but I don't know about seeing that. I know some speculated, I think I might even have it up here, that he's going to do a post on, what is it, July 4th, the day the market's closed, so we can't have any kind of impact. I've also seen the idea that now the Kansas City Shuffle. It's like, what is the Kansas City Shuffle? I've seen it thrown around so many different times. People are trying to like crack the code, but now people are saying, just people are saying doesn't mean, oh yeah, this is definitely the case, right? But people are saying things, excuse me, along the lines of he's going to buy Chewy and then sell it, and then it's going to lead to more affiliated delivers with XRT, and just a lot of different ideas floating around there. And I just want to be, your friendly reminder that you got to believe things when you see it. So give it time, let the news digest. Everyone's just, oh, is it this? Is it that? Like everyone's reacting very quick right now. Like give it a few days to simmer and be like, okay, what do I think is going on here? And I'm not saying I know, like, oh yeah, I'm predicting it for you, but just a lot of interesting stuff, right? We also see there's 2 hidden videos. I saw previously there was 1 hidden video, and then we got the Chewy filing today, and this has got to be the best thing ever. Where is it? Oh no, this is the report. Page 1. Rule 13D-1, parentheses C. Check the appropriate box to designate whether you are a cat. I am not a cat. It's actually hilarious that you're able to do that. This is a official securities filing and date of event which requires the filing statement. So June 24th, he became a 9,001,000 shareholder. Same exact amount of shares as GameStop. Equates to roughly 66% of the outstanding shares of Chewy. But I'll stop you right there because there are theories that, and I don't know the details. I haven't had time to look into it yet. Like I said, this news is very fresh. But there's theories that he actually owns options. And again, I don't know the specifics, but apparently it's possible that the number of shares here would be equated to an options, right? So maybe he just has like a ton of options. So if we do, so if you think about it, it's like representative of 100 shares per option. So if we did that divided by 100, does he have 90,000 call options on Chewy? I know people were posting that there was a lot of open interest on Chewy like the week prior. And then this report, it says as of the 24th. So what was Chewy on at that date? So June 24th was back here, like right before it ran. And like, did he know something? I mean, obviously here, this is worth discussing on its own. It's very interesting how he tweets a picture of a dog and just like, I don't think that's him buying shares right there. Then here's where it got disclosed that he's a shareholder, and then it just completely sold off. And I don't know, the whole thing. I'm definitely surprised. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm absolutely surprised by this. I truly thought he was a GM elitist, but listen, there's nothing. I'm not knocking him in any which way. I'm just saying, like, wow, this saga like has so many ups and downs, lefts, rights, twists and turns, and every time you start to think you make sense of something, and I actually watched some of Richard Newton's video earlier today, like on my way to work. I was like, all right, Richard posted like this news is out. He's already covering it. Let me just hear what he has to say real quick, and that's kind of what he was saying. It's like every time you think you have a grip on it in some shape or form, it's so true, or some kind of understanding, just a twist. Like, whoa, what? I didn't see that coming. So it's crazy, and I agree with him very much in that the story is so epic and fun to cover. So I'm grateful to be a part of it, and I think he's honestly doing a great job of just speaking to what's happening in very simple terms. But I wanted to kind of take a look at Chewy's statements. Like, I'm curious. So this is their most recently quarterly one, so it's for Q1. They are profitable. It looks like, right? Like they have net income of 66,000 versus 22,000 the year before. So their EPS went up year over year. And again, I'm just glancing at it for the first time. They're not spending too much on SG&A, although I don't know what good SG&A spend is for Chewy relative to other stocks. I mean, I guess you could sort of compare it to GameStop because they both are in XRT, which if you're not aware, XRT is pretty much like the retail ETF, which I'm sure if you're watching this, you're probably at least somewhat aware at this point, because XRT and the failures to deliver there have been thrown around a lot over time. And shout out Diamond Ape 69, he's always posting a lot of good stuff on GameStop. And here are the failures to deliver on GME, and then here is on XRT. So I've previously said, and this is technically the case, where let's say there's a failure to deliver on the 8th for XRT. Going into the 9th, it's not necessarily that there was 233 more thousand more rolls over, or I'm sorry, it's not that there was 233,000 total new fails to deliver. It could have been 104,000 from the day before. So when that's taking place, it could not be all at once, but when you dig deeper into it and you realize like why people talk about failures to deliver, you realize they can get satisfied in some kind of swap, through call option contracts and just funky things like that, because market makers and institutions generally just have a lot more capabilities that you and I just simply don't have. So if you're confused, like, okay, well, the failure delivers come and go, nothing specifically happens. It's that the failure delivers, and again, it's just theoretical here, gets satisfied through strange actions, right? And then that's miscellaneous and a whole conversation in itself. So yeah, and again, whether you're watching live or watching it back, I appreciate you. This is probably going to be the last stream for like roughly 2 weeks. Maybe if I have free time at some point, obviously I'm going to be on vacation and don't want to annoy my girlfriend by just streaming the whole time, right? Like I'm at home. So yeah, if you might be watching this week later, like, where's Tetron? Here I am, but I'll be back. Check out the streams live on Monday. Discord, yeah, no. Coffee House, I do not like the advertising of this guy on my page. I gotta give you the timeout, honestly, for that one. But I do appreciate you being here. We're gonna give you a temporary timeout. Because listen, everyone can watch what they want to watch, but you don't have to advertise here. We'll give you a 10-minute timeout. But calls on ass income for 20 box smoke. Yeah, no. If you're watching this and you're like, what does that mean? It's the idea that social sentiment is factored into algorithms and certain algorithmic trading, and obviously it depends on the situation and the specifics vary, but there was jokes a while back, and you'll see it now, right? If you just go on Superstock, I mean, after this morning, not as much, but over the weekend, it was like, oh yeah, so bullish on like CUM and PENIS, right? Stuff like that. And this is so accurate here, this meme. Kansas City Shuffle, Kansas City Shuffle. That's a Kansas City Shuffle. Everyone's trying to figure out what the Kansas City Shuffle is. But there was a lot of memes about that because pretty much then the algos pick up like, oh yeah, like this is a good position. And it's kind of just like people trolling the algos if you're not aware. But you got me there for 20 box smoke. I was just like, oh, what was that? Evening crew checking in. El Don Yobo, what up, what up? Thanks for popping in. Yeah, I know, just a quick stream today, like I've been saying, if you're just joining. right before vacation. Like I'm trying to keep up with everything today, and it was such a busy day at work because obviously I'm going to be out the next couple of weeks. So I was really trying to get everything done, make the handoff to the next person as smooth as possible. So with that, I was extremely busy all day, and it's one of those with my job where you can do a certain amount of stuff at any point in time, but sometimes it's just inevitable that you're gonna have to deal with things when they come up. And then if a couple things just come up at the same time, you're like, damn it, it's the second half of the day. Of course, it's later in the day now, right? And also a day where I'm trying to get a bunch of stuff done, and it was just that kind of day later on. But honestly, it's all right. Kind of expected it, and I'm off the next week and a half. So can I really complain? Hi, Tetron, Sharon. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for popping in. So I am very curious to see, and I'm going to try and look it up on the plane ride or just over time. I'm going to make a list of things to look at. But I am very curious to see, could it theoretically be that he doesn't necessarily have these exact 9 million to 1,000 shares, that he has them part in shares and then part options representing it, right? We did the math and it's like roughly 90,000 call contracts, right? Or I'm sorry, was it? Yeah, it was 90,000. So what I was going to do, and I forgot for a moment, I wonder if we can locate a lot of open interest. I think it was the July monthlies where there was a lot of volume. I saw it on Unusual Whales the other day. So it's not impossible, and I might have it open in one of these tabs here. And by the way, this is Robinhood, because apparently it was having issues today, and I feel like this image perfectly describes it because it's really glorified trash. Like, yes, it's great for new investors, but once you understand what you're doing and you see all the ways they've screwed their customers in the past, I don't know. I just don't understand why you wouldn't want to move to a Fidelity or a Schwab or whoever your preferred broker is, right? I just feel like there's better options than Robinhood. Like, but if you accept the risk and you just understand the history of it, so be it, right? Everyone can do what they want, but and then the Roaring Kitty lawsuit comes out today. There's a million headlines, right? There's a gazillion trillion headlines talking about it. And then literally later in the day, this is at 3:26 p.m., the case is dismissed and notice of voluntary dismissal. And we can take a moment also here in a few minutes to look at the case. And it's truly comical. And it makes me think, and I'm certainly not the only one saying this, I'm saying a lot of other people see it too, but this is the first thing I thought. It's like the punishment is the process. Like they put him through this process of, oh yeah, like we're gonna file this lawsuit, make it public, media runs with it, and then later in the day, like, yeah, actually this is stupid. We're gonna withdraw it. So now his name has been just dragged through the mud all throughout the day, and now they're like, oh yeah, no, actually, we don't really think this is a good idea. Although to be fair, on the other side of the coin, it was filed, I believe, on Friday, and it just got released earlier today. The information on that, but still within one business day, right? Going from Friday to Monday. By the end of Monday, it's already voluntarily dismissed. So you can just see it was going nowhere. But now, still, if you look up Roaring Kitty today, Roaring Kitty sued for securities fraud and all kinds of stuff like that. It's crazy. It's crazy, and it's so much to keep up with, guys. It really is so much. This case, this story, it just keeps evolving, and I do my best to. But I really salute the people that really, really keep up with it and post so consistently. It's so hard to balance life so much, right? But also, don't get me wrong, that's all excuses. Got to keep grinding. When I come back, like I'm hoping to be nice and refreshed and just really lock in and get back to making videos also because I feel like I've done pretty well with the lives. The live streams have evolved over time, but I really want to get back into making videos too because that was how this channel really started. So I've kind of moved away from it to more so focus on streaming, and then when I do have like shorter term thoughts, I put them on X. So if you guys don't follow me already, at Tezron Invest. But yeah, that was the result on the lawsuit today, and I'm not surprised, but what I am surprised by is how fast it got completed. So crazy. So this is from last year. Is Ryan trying to tell us something? There's nothing more foolish than cat litter in video games. Maybe, I don't know. That's a bit of a stretch, right? But it's always fun to speculate. And then this person says they can no longer hide the fact they're shorting the XRT basket. Could that be an aspect of this? GameStop down 6.5%. Chewy down 6.5%. Dick's Sporting Goods in the same ETF, another large holding there, 5%. Then you have Macy's, another 4.66%. Kohl's, roughly 5%. All about the same amount, right? Or Victoria's Secret, a little bit more so, 9%. But, that does happen within the industries. Like if you go from cybersecurity, they generally move together to retail stocks, to a certain degree of tech stocks, certain degree of chip stocks, right? But even more so it happens when baskets are trading heavier. And it seems like with retail stocks in particular, it happens even more so, in particular this XRT basket. And you see it through the failures to deliver and just how it's been on the reg show list for so long. And it's truly a unique aspect of things that I feel like I really overlooked. And I should start making my list of things I want to go through when I'm on the plane. So definitely failures to delivers on ETFs, because I've been aware of it, but I really haven't looked into it to the degree I feel like I should have now that a lot of this different stuff is going on. And then also Chewy filing options. And if you guys have any insight, definitely let me know, because I'm here to keep learning. And then DFV didn't leave. You think he would come back after 3 years to live stream his long thesis on a stock that he hasn't left for the past 3 years to jump and abandon ship? Wrong. He's still in, and this is all part of the plan. You think he sold calls and bought shares of GME, just sells his exact same shares in the next few weeks? No, DFV has built up a war chest for potential plans, and he did not sell any shares to buy Chewy. So, this is just Cheeky Trey's opinion, right? Gotta love Reddit usernames. So, I'm not saying, oh yeah, this is definitely it. But that's kind of my opinion too, in the sense I have a very hard time believing, and I tweeted it out earlier today, I have a very hard time believing that this man sold his shares after coming back out of nowhere. And this was his last YOLO update where he had 9,001,000 shares, the exact same amount, and the price paid was $23. There's another theory out here that he basically buys the pet stock, files with the SEC, then he's already sold in the spike, he's out. He sold, he made 90 million. He's going to turn around and buy GME cheaper now. I don't know. That's a bit of a stretch. And then he's got to be very careful too. You got to think about it. Like, I'm sure he is being very articulate in how he's going about things and what he wants to do. But still, he has to be like very, very careful, because all eyes are on him. There could be more BS lawsuits, and yeah, they might not go anywhere, but it just brings more and more attention. So those are kind of my initial thoughts on it, right? Just like everyone else, also, like, I'm just digesting in real time and just trying to figure it all out like everyone else. So quite the twist or turn today. So I had to cover it real quick. Like I said, I still have so much more to do and getting ready, and never traveled for this long. So you got to do a lot of damn packing, man. It's crazy. But a lot of interesting ideas out there today as well. So shout out Fat Dad Dirk. He always posts amazing food, and it looks like he makes his own amazing drinks. So shout out to him for that. But breaking DFE, and again, this is user slash Chimpay19. Breaking DFE does not need to own the shares in Dog Company. I love how they call it Dog Company, Pet Store Company, because it's censored. Basically, other stocks get muted out on Superstock to obviously like avoid bots and spam and whatnot. DFE simply just needs to own the options exercisable within 90 days that would put him over the required percentage to be forced file. He does actually own the shares, as the filing shows he has the voting rights, which you don't get with just a holding options. So that's what someone responded. But then the OP poster, right, or original poster, I don't believe so. Each beneficiary owner needs to file these reports pursuant to Rule 13D, 13D1. A person deemed a beneficial owner of an equity security, if the person has the right to acquire beneficial ownership of the equity security within 60 days, or acquires the right to acquire beneficial ownership of the equity security with the purpose or effect changing of or influencing the control of the issuer of the security for which the right is exercisable, or in connection with or as participant in any transaction having such purpose, with regards to when the right is exercisable. So basically saying options, right? Or from an understanding in connection with that derivative security. This applies regardless with the origin of the right to acquire the equity security. So could that be the case? I don't know. Let me refresh it here. And damn, it's so dry. That's how I feel reading all this stuff sometimes, for real. But let's see if anyone has any insight. Nope, this is what the 13D looks like for Ryan Cohen. His call options are included in the total shares beneficially owned in voting power. Ryan Cohen only bought 7.78 million shares, so theoretically he could have only purchased options and had to report. Okay, so this person's saying yes. I think he put the calls in exercised. I don't know. I don't know. So again, just food for thought there. And all things to research. Let's see, funny how those screaming GME elitists and divine the communities are the first to pile on when they think the GME elitists are wrong. There's only one GameStop. I agree with this badass trader. Honestly, listen, you can believe whatever theory out there, and to me, I just say I'll believe it when I see it. I believe he bought Chewy. There's a filing. I'm like, whoa, okay, that's crazy. I didn't see that coming. I believe it. But to say there's still this going to happen and that going to happen, just try and digest, and really think before you make any rash decisions, right? And I'm not telling you what to believe. I'm just saying, always try and very logically look at everything going on. And when there's a lot happening at once and a lot of people are talking about it, everyone has an opinion, right? That's what the internet is. So you really have to like digest it all and just break it down. I really think that's so important. But really, the case thing to me, like, I think we should take a minute to go through that because it's really fun to see. Anything else here? We'll have to go through the Fed Watch tool today. But also, I feel bad for anyone who bought calls open. Like, oh, this thing's going to skyrocket. Part of me thought they were going to let it run, but then also part of me thought it was going to be crashed right back down. When I say they, I'm very generally saying the algorithm. So, what a day, though. What a day. I had to take some time to talk about it because it's just truly an exciting time. But I do want to go through the lawsuit real quick. Like, it's truly comical. And this guy, Martin Radev, like, I'll tell you the juicy part right off the bat. Go to all the way to the end of this filing, and you can already see just from me scrolling through it. Look at his position. He had what? 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 shares, 2 call options, a put that he bought and then sold. And this is the guy that files a lawsuit. Like, think about that for a second. It's not like this guy lost a major amount of money. And also look at his cost base. It's not even like he bought at like 60, 70, 80 in the pre-market that one day. It's just so stupid. To me, it's just so obviously stupid. You would think, okay, maybe it's an irrational like whale who owns the stock or made a very large move. No, it's some tiny little account, and it's not to say like, oh, tiny accounts don't matter, but to go as far to do a lawsuit and that's all that you were going to put into it, it just doesn't make sense, right? Make it make sense. It just seems so comical to me. And then you go all the way back to the beginning, right? This is a federal securities class action on behalf of class consisting of all persons and entities other than the defendant that purchased or otherwise acquired GameStop securities between May 13th and June 13th. Both dates, the class period, seeking to recover damages caused by defendant's violations of the federal securities law and to pursue remedies under sections blah, blah, blah. And obviously the defendant, Keith Patrick Gill. Is that actually his middle name? I don't know. There was some speculation that is another Keith Gill being framed. I don't know about that, but I've never seen his middle name. Maybe he said it during the last hearing. I'm gonna have to go back and listen. But GameStop, specialty retailer, we know what they do. Defendant, known as Roaring Kitty on YouTube and the social media platform X, also known as Twitter, as well as Deep Fucking Value (DFV) on the social media platform Reddit, is an American financial analyst and investor, as well as former financial analyst from Massachusetts Mutual Life Insurance Company, referred to as Mass Mutual. This we already knew from the previous hearing that took place just post January 2021. Might have been February or March. A defendant is also a former registered stockbroker who holds several securities industry licenses, as well as one of GameStop's largest shareholders. So that right there, the one of the largest shareholders of GameStop, why would he screw people over? It just, the whole thing, like they say, oh yeah, like he pumped and dumped. But how did he dump if he owns 9 million shares? And some are saying, he sold some shares today to buy Chewy. And I don't know about that. I'm not saying it's impossible, but who knows? Maybe he's been buying and selling this whole time. There's a whole side of this that's very much a mystery. So I'll say I don't think he sold any shares, just given his nature and how he's come back at this particular time. But I wouldn't say it's impossible, right? Like I keep saying, I'll believe it when I see it. So as of June 2024, defendant had over 1.6 million subscribers, or sorry, followers on X, and almost a million subs on YouTube. 116 members of his personal subreddit r/Roaring Kitty. Is that actually his though? Is that actually his, or is it allegedly his? I'm not so sure he has a subreddit. Correct me if I'm wrong. 200,000 members on his personal subreddit, Deep Fucking Value. See, again, 2 personal subreddits. I don't think they're his personal subreddits if he didn't create them. Key figured in the so-called meme stock movement, and then they obviously reference, I love this, a meme is a form of content, typically an image, video, or piece of text, usually humorous in nature, that is copied and spread rapidly by internet users. A handful of other companies over a 21-fold over 2 weeks in January 2021 before crashing to pre-surge level in subsequent days, so making it sound worse than it is, and obviously it's still held up pretty well, I would say very well, relative to all other stocks that were the next big play at that given moment in time. Defendant's ability to rally a massive following of retail investors purchase and hold GameStop securities through social media posts is well documented. 2021, meme stock movement sparked chaos in financial markets. Lost billions of dollars at short squeeze events. Defendant testified before the U.S. House Committee. It's previous testimony I was referencing about the meme stock movement as perceived champion and face of the movement for GameStop investors. See, this is funny to me how it's worded like that because he didn't ask for this. He didn't go say, "Oh, I'm the king of GameStop. I'm doing this. I'm doing that." He very simply just started posting and he just blew up more and more and more. And then at first, if you look back at old posts on Reddit when he first started posting the quote YOLO updates, he was kind of hated on in a way. Like a lot of people were like, "What an idiot! I'll come back here in 6 months. How could you do this? Why would this be your YOLO? What are you doing?" And you heard rumblings back of it, right? If you were following Wall Street Bets and whatnot around that time, I would say post summer 2020, like I always kind of kept an eye on it, but I didn't really hear about GameStop till November, December, and I was just observing from the sidelines. And then I was like, holy crap, this guy has not diamond hands, he has diamond balls. That's what the sources say, not me. But last post on Reddit 2021, the defendant showed that his GameStop positions were approximately 30 million. The defendant made his fortune as an investor largely, if not entirely, as a result of his participation in the 2021 meme stock movement. So also you could just look at the numbers. He went from 800,000 shares of GameStop, or technically 200,000 to 800,000 after the 4-for-1 stock split dividend. Then he went so he basically had 800,000. He comes back with 5 million shares plus the call options. Now he's at 9 million. So going from pretty much 800,000 to 9 million, that's more than an 11x in his shares. So I find it very hard to believe he could have made his majority of wealth just particularly during early 2021. He had to have been doing something these past several years. To me, that just seems very plain and simple, of course. You're more than welcome to disagree and speculate otherwise. So okay, yes, this is where it gets juicy. Over the next few days, defendant posted a series, or I guess we should start from the top. On May 12th, 2024, for the first time in nearly 3 years, defendant made a post on social media platform X, which took the form of a meme showing a gamer, that is, an individual that plays video games, in a suit leaning forward in his chair in seemingly concentration and or attention. As reported by multiple news outlets, this meme was widely understood by defendant's followers, analysts, and others to mean that the defendant was watching and or following GameStop's performance. Over the next few days, defendant posted a series of subsequent memes. See, return amps up meme stock animal spirits. Seeking Alpha says, buying pressure for GameStop has been building all May, but went up a notch after Keith Gill, known as Online Roaring Kitty, tweeted for the first time in nearly 3 years. So these are their credible sources, right, for this filing, because the financial media is the most incredible that we know. We all know that, right? So memes on X, largely taking the form of video clips with a battle or fight theme from popular movies and television shows, overlaid with text or graphics that were similarly understood to generally reflect defendants' renewed interest in GameStop. As the market reacted to defendants' posts, GameStop's stock price surged, rising to $12.99 a share, over 74% at the close, to the close of $30.45 per share on May 13th, first trading day following defendants' post on X. GameStop's stock price climbed the following trading day, closing at $40.75 a share, an increase of over 179% from the $17.46 on May 10th. The last trading day before defendants' posts on X, only to normalize again and close at a low of as $18.32 per share by May 23rd. But then also keep in mind all the activity after that, right? Like this guy's just salty. He gets stuck holding when he could have sold on the next run up. And obviously this guy is a trader, just given the nature of this lawsuit, right? And I don't know if anyone's found anything on this guy. I haven't really had time to look into that. But also key point here, when he returned the 13th, so he returned at a point where the stock price had already pretty much gone from $10 a share up to 17. So it was already making moves prior to his return to social media. So that's definitely worth noting and pretty much not really alluded to here as far as I see. So on Sunday, June 2nd, to pump the price of GameStop securities back up, defendant really had a large stake in the company via a post on Reddit, causing GameStop shares to soar more than 70%. In particular, a defendant posted a screenshot of his GameStop portfolio on Reddit through his DFV account, revealing that he had over 5 million shares of GameStop stock, 120,000 call options, strike price of 20, so to expire. Significantly, this post did not reveal when the defendant had purchased these securities. However, it did show his general cost basis. So I don't know of any specifics around that. I'm certainly not an expert on the law, but to me, it still seems like a disclosure. But what they're saying is, well, if he had to file like a 13D or 13F for at the exact letter, just like he had to do with Chewy, although he didn't have to because he's not a 5% or greater owner, so he didn't have to do that. But with GameStop, if he had been in a position where he had to do that, we would have seen that particular cost basis. So they're alleging like he should do it anyway. But again, if you're just joining, this has already been all dismissed, but just reading through how silly it is honestly comical to me, and just worth noting how much he's attacked and watched, like his every little move. It's truly something like I've never seen before, and still got a lot of life left to live, but it's crazy. So blah blah blah. Moving on here. Let's get to the evidence. So as he told Bob, the defendant engaged in pump and dump scheme whereby shortly his May 12th post, unknown investors quietly purchased a large volume of call options on E-Trade, comparatively low prices, reignited the meme stock movement and pumped the value of GameStop securities. His first post on X in nearly 3 years after the price of securities had abated, pumped the value of GameStop securities again June 2nd, posted of his GameStop portfolio on Reddit, disclosing his large position in GameStop securities, including 120,000 call options. So they're just summarizing the whole thing here. Call options for a large profit, seemingly to increase his own stake in GameStop stock by over 400 million shares, belatedly revealing as much to investors on June 13th during aftermarket hours. As a result of Deventful's wrongful actions and omissions, the precipitous decline in the market value, precipitous, these words, man, decline in the market value of the company's securities, plaintiff and other class members have suffered significant losses and damages. And by the way, here are the significant losses and damages, right? And you got to see the evidence. It's truly hilarious. And by the way, all dismissed already within one business day. It was filed on Friday, dismissed by today, Monday afternoon. Okay, why are we going into too much? Well, you see, his position was 30 shares, 2 call option contracts, and then 1 put that was sold. And again, you got to make your own decisions at the end of the day. You really got to make your own decisions. That's truly so important. So this person is a salty individual with a very tiny position relative to people who've been accumulating GameStop for a while. So, oh yeah, and I just realized the chat was not moving on my side. I was thinking, I'm like, damn, the chat is quiet today, so I do apologize. I'm gonna go say hello to everyone quick. Amber, Sharon, what up, what up? Thanks for being here. What's up, sir, and everyone? Aiden, hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. What's up, Tetron? How's the birthday? X1. It was great. It was a great time. It's great to hang out with my friends. So an old friend I haven't seen in a while, so great time catching up with him. And I'm leaving for vacation tomorrow, so living my best life. Truly can't complain right now. No idea what, but it's getting exciting for sure. Exactly, I'd rather be skiing. I totally agree with you. That's exactly a great analysis. Gold TV's place, exactly. I don't also think he hasn't sold anything. I think he made tens, if not hundreds of millions over the last 3 years. I agree. Honestly, I agree. I don't specifically know how, but just the moves he's been able to make on GameStop from what we saw leading into late or mid 2021 when he ultimately stopped posting, it's evident that this guy understands this stock unlike anyone else. I think it's just plain and simple. And not only does he just understand the stock, he definitely has a good handle and understanding of what's going on in the macro of the market, meaning just markets as a whole, ETFs, and just a lot of specific information that while everyone's trying to uncode it, nobody truly knows exactly. But it really also like seems like since his live stream, he played into the part of, oh yeah, I'm just a silly ape, right? I'm gonna start to stream off trolling because I know you're live streaming on CNBC right now, so I'm gonna wear a bandage and pretend like I'm dead. Oh, surprise, I'm alive, and just act like a fool, right? In a sense, like he was pretty simple in what he said, but just like his overall appearance, he's kind of like feeding into the media, like kind of trolling them, right? And he's a meme guy. Like it just seems obvious to me that he likes, likes to troll around a little bit, and not like in a bad way, but he's like, okay, you want to give me all this attention? I'm just gonna have fun with it. So that's what I mean by troll there. So given the nature of his stream, that he was like, oh yeah, I'm just a silly, goofy guy, like all the media articles say. I feel like he's playing into that because he's not actually. And when you listen closely to what he said, while he was very simple, and obviously you have to be very careful given the amount of just attention around him and what he says, he was pretty direct, and I thought he made some pretty decent points. But again, he had to be very simple. But he didn't say like, "Oh wow, yeah, I just hope it goes out." But he's like, "Okay, listen, this is where I'm at. This is what I said originally. This is what I'm saying now. It really has to do with Ryan Cohen." And people took that all kinds of different ways. But that is the reality of it. It really has to do with Ryan Cohen and new management and figuring how to ultimately turn things around and just drive forward. Well, I think they've turned things around. right? They've done kind of a 180 in terms of just cutting costs, closing unprofitable stores, and just evolving to do the small things right, such as just having the right analytics in place to make better business decisions over time, lowering SG&A, closing unprofitable stores, trying new things such as the PSA cards and the private label brand CandyCon, which, by the way, I want to see more stuff with CandyCon and maybe even more private label brands with various different things, but slow and steady. Do it right. Make sure it's quality products that come out. And from what I've seen, and I still have to get one, CandyCon controllers do seem to be very well liked generally by the public, from what I can tell. Obviously, people holding GameStop could be a little bit biased. I'll be honest with you, but I feel like just reading general stuff about it and just seeing the way people are talking about it, it does seem pretty legit. And again, just talking about it now, I realize I got to get one. But having said all that, I feel like GameStop's done a 180, but they're not necessarily, so like they are driving forwards, but they're moving slow, right? Like they haven't really stepped on the gas yet. At some point or another, I expect them to make a big move, and that's when they'll really step on the gas. But also with the trading cards, the more and more I think about it, I do think they're going to make a pretty decent margin on that each time. And it seems like that could potentially get their revenue to at least hold up and be even. I'm not saying it's necessarily going to drive the revenue massively, but I am very curious going into Q2 and especially into the back half of the year, Q3, Q4, so we get a couple quarters of data on PSA trading card sales. And I really hope, because you know how they break down their earnings between hardware, software, and collectibles, like as three general categories. I'd really love to see category number 4, the BSA cards, and get some specifics on that. So I think that would be something pretty cool. So we'll have to see though. Time will tell. Time will tell. And when is the next earnings going to be? The last one was, geez, I don't know. Everything's lumping together. Definitely after I get back because I'm like 2 weeks out. So agree. Kind of hard for media to call him a lowly retailer trader now. LOL. Skiing. You're right, but they will. They always do, right? So I love Ryan Kitty. Vinny Sungbull. Me too. Vinny Cybull Gaming. Shout out to you. Yeah, I love Roaring Kitty too. Listen, you don't have to do everything he does. Like that's the thing, like, oh, everyone worships him, blindly follows him. No, like people just love him as a guy and just respect what he's done. I truly think that's what I would say common man or common woman thinks, whereas the media say he's this evil guy, he's turned rich and evil, now he's abusing his power as the meme king, right? And I just really don't think that's the case. So you can think what you want at the end of the day, but I think that's what the average person thinks. And again, I just love this journey and I love observing everything. And I'm not going to go running by Chewy. I'm just not. I like GameStop and I'll look into Chewy. I'll read the numbers at some point out of curiosity and we'll see what's to come. And Wendy, thank you for being here. Confidential, hey, what up, what up? Thanks for being here because I can. Yes, sir. Hello. What's up, Doug? Sir Moise, thanks for popping in. Jay, welcome to Evie's Place, correct? Oh, yeah, I thought we were saying welcome to Evie's Place. I'm like, where's Evie's Place? But I just realized you're just responding. Tetron, I'm going to pretend I know what happened, but DFE cracked their code. Nobody's getting rid of this GME shares. Carter's Corner Pocket, thanks for being here. But yo, guys, I just realized I do have to wrap it up soon because I have to pick up my girlfriend. Time is absolutely flying. I cannot believe it's 9:30. But I'm going to go a few more minutes here. But yeah, listen, man, the thing is, nobody truly knows exactly what's happening right now. That's the beauty of this whole situation and why so many speculate and so many opinions get tossed around because everyone's just trying to figure it out, and he's making it this big giant mystery. It's incredible. To be honest, Jimmy doing anything or even becoming a profitable doesn't matter since DFE is playing the range in pattern repetition since 2021. Yes, this will be last move. Unknown reducer, thank you for being here. I see where you're coming from, definitely, but I think I'm speaking more so for myself, and I'm a long-term investor. Like I'm just gonna buy and hold. I'm not really gonna trade it. I'm gonna occasionally sell a put, maybe something to that effect, but I definitely see what you're saying. Where if you look back previously at his moves, like he timed the stock very well and just played the cycles, and I think understands the cycles better than anyone else. Last earnings was June 7th while live stream. Thank you, CryptoLink. Thank you. Honestly, man, it's all blended together, so it wasn't even that long ago. Oh yeah, that's right. But we got I'm sorry, the preliminary earnings threw me off. So you're right. We do have quite some time. So we have probably around September, October when we get the next earnings report. He's showing with these guys something fierce and they have no idea what he's doing. Same as us, but totally freaks out Wall Street. I think you're right, Skiing. Honestly, I really do think you're right. It does seem like the case. I think that GameStop's investor base is a bunch of paper hands. Austin, I don't know about that. Maybe you are. Maybe some of your friends are. Maybe someone you know is. But I would say the average individual who likes GameStop is not a paper hander. That's all I can say. Of course, I can only speak for myself for sure, but I don't think that's the case, except for those who are not. Amber, well said. I don't care one bit about what others do with their shares. They're my shares. I know exactly what I'm doing with mine. Skiing, very well said. I totally agree with you, honestly. It's like at the end of the day, everyone's going to do what they want. And that's what I think I've learned over all this time, too, is like, you just have to let people do what they want at the end of the day. Everyone's going to make their own individual decisions. And that's just the way life goes. And if you just focus on yourself and improving yourself and knowing thyself, you're going to be the best you can be. But because I can't go too much longer, I do want to go into these quick things. So this is the first piece of evidence, this post, talking about all its attention. The May 12th post that was understood to mean that the first time in nearly 3 years, the defendant was following and or paying attention to GameStop securities. It's indicated by comments posted in reply to this May 12th Twitter post, which is a sample of which are provided by way of example. And by the way, what do you have here? GME sold, not even the real GameStop, the nonsense knockoff GameStop trying to just ride off the momentum and just people talking about GameStop. Oh, GME on Soul. Yes, it's the next big thing. That's totally what Ron Kitty means. No, nonsense. The fact they included that in the lawsuit is absolute bogus. Yo, I'm glad to see you back for GME Bull Cycles kicks in. Look forward to do some TA with you. There's just some random person saying something random. GameStop after this tweet. This is just people memeing. I like the stock. A meme so terrible and terrible. I don't know if you guys know her history. She used to be big time like AMC this, AMC that. And now she's like this huge account tweeting about politics and this and that. I don't even know. We are so back. That's just something people say. Okay, but which platform can you buy without getting stopped? That's a valid question. So you avoid Robinhood. He's paying attention. Again, just people's opinions out there. Over the next few days, the defendant posted a subsequent series of memes on X via his Roaring Kitty account, largely taking the form of video clips with a battle or fight theme for popular movies or TV shows, overlaid with text or other graphics that likewise were widely understood to reflect defendant's renewed interest in GameStop and served as rallying cry to pump the company's stock price higher. Again, this is so opinionated. It's crazy. It's no wonder it got voluntarily revoked within one day. For example, in the following sequence of images taken from one such video, defendant reversed to the demise of his stock. This is the world we're in, guys, where there is a lawsuit where memes, literal memes, are being used as the evidence. Demise of the stock, GameStop stock to be the one with which he is famously associated, and that he had taken its demise rather lightly, which cuts to a sequence of a man loading what appears to be a rifle, followed by the phrase, "For every action, there's reaction," followed by images telling his followers to put your best face on and go out with a bang, followed by his own discretional credit, ending with an image superimposed with the phrase, "Have I got your attention now?" Crazy. It's just his memes, screenshot by screenshot. How can you not laugh at that? It's truly hilarious. Directed by Roy Kitty. Let's go out with the bang. Have I got your attention now? Indeed, the market's reaction to defendant's post. GameStop stock price surged to $12.99, or over 74% to the close of $30.45 on May 13th. Trading day following the defendant's post on X, and then on Sunday, to pump the price of GameStop securities back up, he posts his YOLO position as exhibited above. Posts a sample of which are provided by way of example. If he's still in, I'm still in. On a lonely day. Get the nipple cream ready, apes. He's to blur out the words. Are staying jack for the whole week. He's not leaving. DFE is in buying up. He increases his position. Dude's over 20 million effing dollars worth of GME. He's adding to position. Adding. Holy effing heel apes. Let's go. Listen, at the end of the day, there's people that say this about all kinds of people. Yes, there's a lot more people that say it about Roy and Kitty in particular, but that's the internet. And that's the thing, too. The more I feel like the financial media hates on him, the more I love him and the more other people love him, too. And, you got to think about it, too. Again, it's the internet, and these are just random Reddit accounts. They don't have their face to it, right? Like, not everyone's doing what I'm doing, putting, like, a face to what they're talking about. And I'm not trying to knock people for that in any which way. Like, you're perfectly welcome to be anonymous on the internet. But the point being, when you're anonymous, like, you could just have fun and say whatever. And I'm not saying I don't have fun and say whatever, right? But my point is, like, people can be a little dramatic and have fun. Like, he's still in, I'm still in, right? Like, they're just saying that. They're just saying that. And they're allowed to say that. So, and if people just collectively start saying that, how is that a problem? It's a crazy world we live in. So, shortly before Gil reignited a meme stock craze in May, he bought a large volume of GameStop options on E-Trade. Stock surged again with the post. E-Trade and its owner, Morgan Stanley, that power created concerns he can pump up the stock for his own benefit. Their debate includes whether his actions amounted to manipulation and whether or not the firm is willing to risk drawing the attention of his meme army by removing him, according to people that are familiar with the internal discussions. So to me, it doesn't seem like he's done anything wrong. Of course, I don't have access to all the information, but it simply does not seem like he's doing anything wrong. Gill isn't solely an amateur investor. He holds several securities industry licenses and was previously a registered broker with a unit of Massachusetts Mutual Life Insurance, better known as Mass Mutual. Agreed to pay $4 million fine in 2021 to settle an inquiry by state regulators for failing to supervise Gill's social media and trading activity. So yeah, if you didn't know this, Mass Mutual got fined for a roaring kitty just liking a stock. What a world we live in. The debate on him as a client side Morgan Stanley's began about 3 weeks ago. Such as a picture of a man leaning forward in his seat. The following day, just as demand for GameStop and other meme stocks surged, GT systems crash. The trading platform was down for most customers for several hours that day. And by the way, underrated part of his stream is when he did like the inspect element and he removed the E-Trade logo. So, be careful, E-Trade. I know how to do that. Like, what a fun little troll. Like, I just thought that was a great underrated part of the stream. But not going to go through every little thing here because, again, got to wrap it up. I got to do more packing. And those of you that missed it, I learned how to fold a suit so it doesn't get wrinkled and you can take it traveling. So I have a destination wedding I'm going to. So hopefully I did it right, but it is possible. I did not know it was possible, and it takes a lot more time than I thought. And that's why this stream started so late. I'm like, okay, I have to get this right. I'm sure they have an iron there, but just trying to like iron a suit, that just sounds like a disaster and a difficult time I'm not going to want to deal with on vacation. So overall, this is the complaint and this is his position. I think we pretty much got through the main points of it here, and it's truly comical. It's truly comical, someone of this position size to be filing a lawsuit like this. And it gets filed the 28th, dismissed the 1st, within one business day. It gets filed on Friday, voluntarily dismissed, by the way, this Monday. And you know what I noticed? It got dismissed around, I think it was, so 3:26, this individual tweeted it. So it must have came out, let's say, give or take, 30 minutes, right? Maybe closer to an hour, maybe 20 minutes before. It's around the time of this, right? Because I know I was busy in the second half of the day. I didn't see it till the very end of the day, but then it was all on my feed. I'm like, already? I didn't expect it to be that quick. I mean, I expected it to be bogus and maybe drag on. But even after this came out, you don't see you don't see that many headlines, right? To be fair, there are some saying, okay, well, the case has been dismissed, voluntary dismissed. But one, you don't see as many headlines as, oh my God, the case is out there. The case is out there. They're suing him. He's the defendant. He pumped the stock. And then even the ones that are posting about it are saying, or missing the fact that it's voluntary dismissal, meaning, and correct me if I'm wrong, that they actually chose, all right, you know what? Like this Martin Radif was like, you know what? Nah, actually, this is silly. You're right. You're right. Memes are just memes. And truly another chapter in the saga today between him acquiring Chewy shares, this lawsuit just coming and going real quick. Truly an epic journey. Truly is an epic journey. And I didn't see either of these things coming. Well, I guess one with the lawsuit, I do see it potentially happening, but if it did happen, I saw it potentially being dragged out and maybe happening sooner. So it was kind of random why today in particular. So, is that everything's a Kansas City shuffle, right? Look there, that happened. Look left, something happens on the right. Look right, something happens on the left, right? So not actually. I don't think the case is the Kansas City Shuffle, but I'm just joking around because it seems like everyone is like, this is the Kansas City Shuffle. No, this is the Kansas City Shuffle. But the last thing I'll say is even after this came out, when the case gets dismissed, I still saw new headlines popping up, like post 3:26 p.m., like articles posted at 4 or 4:30, like other news outlets, like finally getting their article out. They're like, oh, it's dismissed? Well, we just took all day putting this article together. You know what? We're just going to put it out anyway, that he was sued by Martin Radif on behalf of all shareholders, right, for being damaged during this time and pumping and trying to repump the stock. And it's all bogus. It's all bogus. At some point, I'm going to try and read Chewy's numbers out of curiosity, and we'll see. Does he just jump out of these shares? Does he hold them? Does he own both? And I saw a good meme of like the Matrix, and it's like, take the blue pill. Take the blue pill. You buy a little over 9 million shares of Chewy. Take the red pill. You own over a little more than 9 million shares of GameStop. What the hell? Did you just take them both? Maybe. I mean, definitely it's interesting to see XRT. Oh, we never checked the options volume. Let me check that real quick. Sorry, I'm jumping all over. Try to get through everything super quick, and then I gotta wrap it up, guys. So pretty good amount on open interest there, but I don't know, unless there's a different one. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if there's necessarily enough call options to pertain. Unless some were bought and then a lot were sold. I don't know. But you see, look at that craziness on the far call option. I should go back to that real quick. Look how much, just like GameStop's highest call option, far dated, it's the same type of thing. An insane amount of volume on the farthest option, just assuming, like, okay, well, if it goes up, it'll go all the way up, right? Just always know thyself and try not to make any quick decisions. And if you are making quick decisions, just know there's, like, you do have to be fast in the markets if you're a trader, don't get me wrong, but just know when you make a quick decision, like, there's room for error, and then you sometimes look back and like, ah, oh, damn. And I know that's just speaking from experience mostly. But again, know thyself. Are you an investor? Are you a trader? You do a little bit of both. So I believe this has been updated, but as you can see here at a general glance, GameStop was 2% at one point in time when it went up a lot. So they have to rebalance the ETF, and in Chewy going up a little bit and then GameStop coming down a little bit. From what I understand, these two kind of flip-flop, where GameStop moved down the list somewhere. I don't know exactly how far down, and then Chewy jumped to the top. I don't have, again, the exact up-to-date filing, but with that being the case, could that have something to do with what he did? But then also people are saying like he's going in order with the emojis, but then he tweeted the dog previously, like all these months ago. How could he have known? Like, oh, I don't know. It's just, it puts me in a mental pretzel, honestly. Sometimes I need some honey mustard with that mental pretzel, because it's crazy. It's crazy trying to read all this stuff. But I thoroughly enjoy it, and I really feel like I keep learning because it takes me down different rabbit holes of market mechanics and histories of how the market works, and history of GameStop, and just various different things. And overall, still generally speaking, since early June, the stock's held up, in the mid to low 20s. So we'll see what happens from here. Anything could happen in the short term. Don't get me wrong, but I have a hard time seeing it go below 20. But I've certainly been wrong in the past, so I could be wrong again. So take that with a grain of salt. We just like the stock. We're for the people. Well said. I would like to think that Keith is a master plan and we should all see it unfold. If not, they will stay the course and turn around and transition. Couldn't agree more. Honestly, I feel exactly the case. I feel like they got to stay the course no matter what. They should just focus on GameStop and the company and then go from there. And yeah, guys, I definitely got to wrap it up. Got to go pick up my girlfriend. That seems like a bigger picture fit for it. Ryan Kitty's doing what he does. We just watch the show. Exactly. And that's the thing, too, that people are undersaying, I would say, and underestimating, or just not talking about enough, is that there's a lot of people like myself who are dollar cost averaging GameStop over these past several years with no thought that, or always the hope, maybe, right? That, oh, Roaring Kitty's going to come back one day. There was no guarantee. I honestly did not expect it. He could have just rode off in the sunset and just disappeared forever, right? And just enjoyed his life. But he's still here. He chose to come back. So I didn't expect that. Honestly, I think it came to a total surprise, and it was the most random time ever, right? Or as of now, it seems random, right? But maybe we'll look back in a couple of years and be like, oh, that's why he came back at that particular time, right? Original thought is the swaps, and then also remember that tinfoil theory about UBS trying to close their position because they got the bag tossed to them from Credit Suisse, who got the bag, got stuck holding the bag from Archegos from their bankruptcy. Oh man, so many ups and downs, twists and turns in the story. I love it. He knows exactly what they're doing and when, and is simply taking advantage of it. Not a single thing illegal or wrong about what Kitty's doing. Exactly, skiing, exactly. And it kind of reminds me of the casino. It's like you're allowed to play the casino as much as you want, but then once you start figuring out blackjack and you're counting the cards in your head, all of a sudden you're winning a little too much. Ah, sorry, you can't play the game anymore, right? All of a sudden that kind of seems like what we're having here. They're just butthurt. Someone is using their own algo to beat them. Shows how much smarter Kitty's than all of them. Skiing, I don't think you're wrong. And the more action we see by him, and as time rolls on, it seems to be more and more that that's possibly the case, and we'll see as time goes on. I think those are decent opinions, don't get me wrong. We're tiny minnows the sharks and whales can't see. It's true, skiing. It's true. It's true. This is a very vast investing ocean. Yep, as soon as you're winning and the guy shows up and watch you. Yeah, exactly. It's true. It's true. But remarkable, remarkable twist today. I don't know exactly what's to come next. I don't think anybody truly does. So just be mentally ready. Just be mentally ready for anything and everything. And I think that's the best thing you can do. And just keep reading and learning. And thank you guys for watching. Again, I am going to be away the rest of this week and next week. So I think the next stream is probably going to be July 15th. So you're not going to see me for a couple weeks till about mid-July, about 2 weeks from today. If something crazy happens and I have a free moment, stay tuned. Maybe a quick video, quick live stream if I have a moment. Because I feel like whenever I'm busy or doing something or on vacation historically, GameStop makes a big move suddenly out of nowhere. So we'll see. Will they again? Maybe, maybe not. But I would welcome it. Of course, I wouldn't be able to really cover it as well as if I was at home. But appreciate you guys very much. I'm gonna wrap it up here, and yeah, I think it was a fun, quick stream. Sped through a bunch of stuff, and I hope everyone out there has a great night, great next couple weeks ahead. And yeah, I'll post when I can on X. Quick video here and there, but don't expect too much these next couple weeks. But I love you guys. This has been an epic journey, meeting so many people along the way, and have a good night. Wendy, have a good night. Thank you. Thank you for the well wishes on the trip, guys. I appreciate you very much. You were the catalyst. Eldon Yobo, I don't know about that, man. I think I'm way too small to be the catalyst, right? But maybe I'll rich when you get back. Well, hey, skiing, we'll see. Then you could just be skiing and chilling every day, right? If that's the case. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think anyone truly knows what's going to happen on this journey today, tomorrow, the next day, or the following day. But if you just keep learning and doing the most you can, that's all you can do, right? And just try and focus on yourself. Like, not saying don't listen to other people and get their perspectives and whatnot, but know thyself and stick to your own plan. Like, if you're an investor, stick to investing. If you're a trader, stick to trading. If you want to do a little bit of both, that's fine. Just know thyself. So, have a good night.